This is the new Renault 5, the ultimate in French chic. It's retro but modern, simple, minimalistic, the very definition of cool. Okay, envelope. This is exciting. Oh, it's gold. Hello, Lucy. We need your help in reviewing the Renault R5. Okay. You have the keys, it's fully charged, so off you go. One last thing, you must meet us at the location below at midday for a special treat. Okay, wonder what that's gonna be. I've been driving the R5 for about 15 minutes now, and so far I really like it. It's very comfortable and relaxing in here. The bucket seats are sort of hugging me. I do think I prefer fabric seats over leather in cars, so I'm very comfortable. It's quite sort of relaxing in here. We've got the nice screens and some physical buttons. I'm liking that. The ride is pretty good. It doesn't feel like I'm driving sort of an electric car. Electric cars usually feel sort of really heavy, and this really doesn't. It's about 1.5 tons, but you can't really feel that. It does feel like a nippy hot hatch. I'm really enjoying it. I do have one little niggle at the moment actually, which is that this pillar is quite big, so it does feel like I've got quite a sort of large blind spot, especially when I'm wanting to change lanes. I'm on the motorway now, but there is a sort of lane detection, blind spot detection on the wing mirror, so I can't really complain too much. I like the sound of the indicators. I'm off the motorway now, and I'm going to try cycling through some of the different modes using my multi-sense button. I'm currently in sport and it's nice and responsive. Let's go into eco. Try and save some charge. Oh wow. My foot is flat to the floor. It's very sort of lazy, I guess, in eco. Wow, that is completely different. I expected it to feel different to sport mode. Obviously eco to sport mode is quite a drastic change, but wow, that is a big difference. Let's see if comfort is a middle ground between sport and eco. Okay, that is much better than eco in terms of responsiveness. I grew up in the south of France, and there were quite a few Renault 5s going around the countryside where I live, so I know it quite well, the original that is. I will admit that when I saw that Renault was bringing out a new Renault 5, an electric one, I was a little bit, oh, are you just taking the name because it's iconic to sell some electric cars to petrol heads? So when I got here, I was a little bit skeptical. I will admit I did see this car at the Paris Motor and I thought it looked amazing, but I just wasn't sure if it was going to be a proper hot hatch. And now that I'm driving around some lovely country roads up in Scotland, I can admit that I think Renault have done a good job. This feels like a hot hatch. This feels like what a Renault 5 should be. It's fun, it's nippy. I think they've done well. I'm now on an absolutely lovely B road. It's got some twists and turns. It's pretty empty, so I'm gonna go into sport mode and see how it feels here versus the motorway. Oh, it is nippy. It is quite responsive in sport mode. Got a nice bend coming up. It does have that, what I call sort of go-karty feeling. It just feels completely planted, smooth around the corners, responsive. I think sport mode's probably my favourite mode. This is a hot hatch, so you should drive it in its hot hatch mode. This is the E-Tech 150 version of the R5 with the slightly bigger 52 kilowatt hour battery. Renault claim it's got a range of around 252 miles. I reckon that's probably a little bit closer to 200 miles. It's got a top speed of 93 miles per hour, which for me is plenty. And it can do 0 to 60 in about 8 seconds, which I think is pretty good for an electric hot hatch. It's getting close to midday now, so I probably need to head back for my treat. I think the front is really cool. It's cute even. It's got a really happy face. You've got these really nice headlights, and then you've got these little square lights down here. I think they remind me of a viewfinder on a camera. I think it's pretty cool. There's also something I've never seen before, a 5 emblem, obviously Renault 5, but it's not just a 5 emblem, it's also a charge indicator. Each sort of bar of it shows you 20% of charge. I absolutely love that. The pop yellow colour is probably my favourite. I absolutely love it, and the contrast between the black roof and the black wing mirrors is just awesome. There's also a little red ribbon across the side which just adds perfectly to it in my opinion. I love the 18-inch wheels. I think they're very cool, and there's loads of just really nice details which make it feel just fun and sporty, like a hot hatch really. I love all of these sort of like 5 details. It's just really fun. The back is a clear nod to the original Renault 5. Once again, we've got some lovely details, another 5 emblem here, really nice. I've just noticed this is the exact same colour as Arnold Clark yellow, which is pretty cool. I love the rear lights. When you look closely, they're so intricate. And also there's actually glitter in the pop yellow paint, which is very cute. Again, I think the overall word I'm going to be using to describe this is cute. It's lovely. Should we take a look in the front? The interior already feels pretty interesting. There's clearly been a lot of thought put into it. It feels quite sporty. I like this sort of felt in a dirty yellow, which sort of carries on the colour on the exterior of the car. There's sort of waffly stuff on the ceiling, which makes it feel a little bit like a sort of padded cell, but in a sort of reassuring, nice way, I reckon. There are quite a lot of physical buttons, which I really like. Again, it's sort of a retro inspired car, so it's nice to see that. We've got some nice buttons here for all the climate controls. We've got some nice buttons on the side to control our mirrors. There are 2 big 10-inch infotainment screens, so you've got a lot of sort of real estate, which is lovely. There's loads of sort of little details, the stitching here. Again, you're seeing those 5 emblems, which are really cool. We've got sporty headrests, the seats feel super hot hatchy. The one thing that I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed by is the number of stalks there are on this side. So you've got your drive selector here, which is a stalk. Then you've got another stalk, which is your wipers. Then another stalk, which is your media controls. And obviously you've got your indicators on the left side. So quite a lot of stalks. But apart from that, everything in here is just really lovely. It feels sort of relaxing, but fun and a nice place to be. After spending some time with the R5, I really like it, and I'll be honest, it's not quite what I was expecting. I don't think I've driven a car like this before. I didn't quite think it would feel like a proper hot hatch, but it really does. It handles really nicely, it's super nippy. Overall, I'd say it's a pretty brilliant car, and I would probably have one. Duncan?
Lucy, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here? I was going to ask the same thing.
This is the Alpine A290, the first new Alpine since they brought us the A110 back in 2017. And I know what you're thinking. Isn't that just a punched up Renault 5? Well, what's wrong with that? But there's more to this car than just a body kit, because the name Alpine means something. And if they were going to add a car to their fleet, they really needed to push the boat out, especially when this goes away from their petrol-powered history. But I can't wait to drive it. What you got there, Thomas? Thank you. Duncan. Don't get very many letters these days. Okay. Hello, Duncan. Hello. We need your help reviewing the new Alpine A290. You've got the keys, yes, it's fully charged, so off you go. One last thing. you must meet us at the location below at midday for a special treat. A treat, eh? Growing up, the hot hatch was what we all aspired to. They were made from boring, ordinary, compact cars. But when you put your foot down, they went, and when you threw them into a corner, they handled like a race car. With manufacturers moving to electrification and taste changing, the hot hatch has become a rare sight. So can we bring back the glory days? Sure, it shares most of its parts with the R5, but it's got its own identity. It's sportier, it's faster, and it's just generally cooler. The car's got bespoke front suspension on it and redesigned rear suspension, different from the R5, and it's also got hydraulic bump stops, which make the whole thing seem more taut and planted. Just a small movement on the steering wheel has a big effect on where the actual front of the car wants to go, which is a nice thing. You're not having to put huge amounts of steering look on. You used to have to do that with a lot of hot hatches back in the old days. And it's comfortable in here as well. I could feel a little bit of support in my side here as I went round the roundabout from the seat. You've got a kind of semi-bucket seat here, which goes low enough to the ground for me. The steering wheel, which is nice fit for my hands, comes up and back towards me. Visibility is good. The A-pillar's not taking up too much of the space. The door mirror's not too big, it's not overpowering. There's not a lot of wind noise, there is a little bit in fact, but it's a windy day, so we need to factor that in. But it's nice in here, it's comfortable, it's a lot of fun. So Lucy, how have you been?
Pretty good, been doing some travelling, you?
Yeah, kind of the same. Slightly less glamorous than what you've been doing, but I see you're with an ex-favourite of mine.
I absolutely love it. I've been driving the R5 all day and it's incredible.
Okay, it is good, I'll give you that. It was my favourite car last month, but now we've got this, the A290 GTS. Let me introduce you to, I'm not going to say a step up, but something I think is just a little bit cooler and maybe a little bit better. Because look at the front of it. You've got sporty looking front end.
Yeah, looks
big
nice.
Geometric shapes down the grille, down the bottom.
Yeah.
Air intakes to get some air off the front to make it cut through the air better.
I'd say that's probably cosmetic. I'm quite confident that that doesn't have an impact on the driving.
What about the X-Motif lights? They remind you of a rally car from many years ago?
A little bit, but I'm not that blown away by them, I'm afraid.
Okay, I'm going to have to try and win you over here. 19-inch snowflake alloy wheels, they are incredibly cool.
Yes, they are quite nice. Nice big caliper. That looks wrong to me.
Yeah, they've mirror-imaged Alpine logo, which is a little bit strange, but you know, the side of the car is stunning. It's 60 mils wider than your R5, okay, so it's got a more aggressive stance there. I love the sill on the bottom, and I also think this reminds me of the Renault 5 Turbo 2 with the big air intakes on the side.
I mean, it's not quite a fat air intake, but I get where you're coming from.
But it is trying. I mean, I love everything about this car.
Really? Even the price?
The price, well, starting at £37,500. It's maybe 10,000 more expensive than your R5, but look at everything else you get. And I need to show you the back.
Okay.
We've got a roof spoiler, okay? We've got the lovely 3D lights as well. I'm a fan of them because they are a hark back to even the original Renault 5.
Yeah.
Second spoiler on top of the boot as well.
Bit pointless.
Pointless. Double diffuser, that is a good look.
Yeah, that does look nice, I'll admit that.
And it's sporty, it just gives it and finishes the car off perfectly. The boot, 326 litres.
Also 326 litres on the R5.
That's 116 litres more than the
Mini Cooper electric.
Yeah, that's good for its class.
Yeah, it's not bad, but how much does all that extra body kit cost you?
Well, we know this one's £37,500, but you get a more basic model, which starts at just over £32,500.
Still quite expensive. That starts around £22,000, but that exact one is closer to £29,000.
Yeah, there's not really a lot in price when you think about it. You think of another hot electric car just now, like the Hyundai Ioniq 5N. This is a bargain compared to that. And the Alpine brand is much more premium. And it's not just about a body kit. There's a lot more going on under the hood and inside.
Okay, I still think that if I was going to get an Alpine, it'd be an A110, but I'll let you convince me.
You're not convinced?
Not yet.
Let's jump inside.
Okay.
Okay, I'm still trying to win you over inside here, and I would imagine the premium luxury feel of the Napa leather interior on the doors, the dash, the seats and the steering wheel must be a winner.
A little bit. The seats feel basically the same as the R5 though, just in leather.
I don't know, the semi-bucket comfortable seats, I like that. Something that is different from the R5 is the driving controls. This is like the Alpine A110 with your 3 buttons. You've not got the stock that you've got in R5.
That is much better, I think.
Yeah, much more user-friendly.
Yeah.
Charging mat, couple of USB-Cs, real physical buttons for your climate control, and then 2 10-inch screens which are both powered by Google, and they're Apple CarPlay and Android Auto Ready. Are you an Apple CarPlay girl?
Yeah, Apple CarPlay all the way.
Okay, good, like that. Sportier steering wheel in the R5. We've got a flat bottom, which is a definite nod to Formula 1. And I know this caught your eye earlier on.
Yeah, I admit it does look pretty cool, much cooler than the R5.
And you've got a couple of options of regen as well, or recharge as they call it, so you can up that. There's 4 options, there's low, medium and high, and you can also have it off. So depending on how much you want to harvest back into your battery, it's nice and easy, and it feels kind of racy when you're playing on the steering wheel.
Quite cool.
Driving mode's easy to get to, that's a button on the steering wheel, and then we've got this, the OV button, the overtake button, which gives you, with the throttle pedal, 10 seconds of maximum throttle. I mean, it's almost like Mario Kart, it's too much fun.
It's quite cool. Where are the cup holders?
Oh, they're in R5. Let's go. So come on, have I won you over? What do you think?
Not quite yet. Getting there, but not quite yet.
I think there's only really one way that I can win you over.
How's that?
You're going to have to drive it.
Okay.
Let's go. Before we get going, we're going to dive into the infotainment system, and we're going to pull up some live data via the telemetrics, which gives us lateral G-forces, brake temperature and tyre pressures.
Wow, that sounds so important when you're in your little electric Super Mini in the middle of a race.
It's just what you need. Trust me, it's just what you need. I found it really comfortable to be in here. It reminded me a lot of the R5, but I suppose your impressions are pretty important as well.
Yeah, it is pretty comfy. It's a very relaxing cabin, and it does feel sort of quite nice having all the sporty touches. I like the bucket seats sort of hugging me. That's quite comfortable. I don't know whether I prefer the leather seats though. I feel like leather gets a little bit warmer than sort of fabric, and it is a remarkably warm day today in Glasgow, so I think I might prefer the fabric in the R5, you know.
It's quiet in here, isn't it? It's like a soundproof room.
It is very quiet. It is quite nice. And especially on a motorway, they're normally quite loud. You're not getting much wind noise. It's quite relaxing, isn't it? It is fun in sport mode. I reckon if I own one of these, it's basically a hot hatch ride, so I'd just live with it in sport mode because I want it to be as hot hatchy as possible. Is that just me, or do you think you'd change modes?
No, I can agree with that. I like to cycle through my modes though. When I'm on a B road and I'm wanting to lean on it and push on a little bit, I like to definitely go to sport mode. But on a motorway, I'm all about trying to get more range, maximise the distance, so I go for eco, or in this one, save. But I know where you're coming from there. You want a hot hatch to be fast, quick off the mark, handle well, so sport mode, fun. Should it be called fun mode?
I'd call it fun mode. I think the Mini calls it go-kart mode, and I can definitely sort of relate to that. That's fun.
Do you feel a difference? Because we have cycled through them a few times.
Yeah, I'm definitely preferring sport mode, the sort of firmer ride, the quicker acceleration. I feel like if you're going to get this Alpine, you want that extra bit of fun.
Yeah, it's more responsive on the throttle, it's the pickup's quicker. Like you say, you want to have it in sport mode, you want the fun.
Yeah, find a good B road, put it in sport mode, have a fun afternoon.
Okay then, here's a question for you.
Yep.
Does it feel like an Alpine?
Well, I've only ridden in an Alpine in an A110, so I'm not quite sure. It definitely feels sporty. I mean, you've driven a lot more stuff than me. Does it feel like an Alpine?
It does to me, yeah. It does to me. It's very planted. It does exactly what you want in the steering wheel. A small movement has a big effect. And it looks great. And generally, if something looks great, it feels and works great as well. So I think, yes, personally, it does feel like an Alpine.
Alpine are good at small cars, aren't they? I feel like the A110 feels like a little baby supercar, and this is small as well. They're good at sort of small stuff that works well.
Hidden gems.
Yeah.
See, the thing about the improvements on this car is they're not just cosmetic. Renault know the importance of the Alpine brand, especially now with their heritage and their presence in Formula 1. It's got a bespoke front suspension on it. It's got completely redesigned rear suspension. There's hydraulic bump stops in it as well. The front subframe is a lightweight aluminium subframe. The motor's held in a different position There's different new anti-roll bars on the car as well. It is completely different from the R5, and you need to drive that to feel it. I mean, tell me it doesn't feel different.
It does feel quite different, much more sort of sporty and fun than I expected after driving the R5. If I'm honest, I thought it was just going to be a body kit, really, but this is a lot more fun to drive. I get that price point difference now. I think it's actually probably quite good money. It's probably quite good value for money for just 10 extra grand. I'd say they are two different cars of two different purposes. I wouldn't sort of just say it's a body kit.
I've won you over.
You've won me over. Damn it. I was hoping that you wouldn't.
How are we doing for charge, Lucy?
Not great.
I know somewhere we can go for that.
Good. The R5 is still so impressive. I love it. And of course, Arnold Clark Charge is the place to head when you need a top up.
Let's not forget the A290. And where can you find out more? ArnoldClark.com, of course. We have over 20,000 new and used cars.
Head down to your local branch to find out how you can order yours, because at Arnold Clark, we make it easy.
The A290 GTS, a top speed of 106 miles per hour with a 0 to 62 of 6.4 and a range of up to 262 miles. Perfect. But I know what the comments are going to say, and I know what you're going to say. It's not fast enough to be a hot hatch, and I understand that. I really do. But how fast do you think the original hot hatches went? Take your rose-tinted glasses off for just a minute, because the original Renault 5 Turbo did 0 to 60 in 7.5 seconds. I absolutely love this car.
This does it in 8 seconds, so it's not far off. I'll admit, you have won me over on the Alpine. I do love it. It was so fun to drive, and it is sort of worth the money, if you will. Any sort of money no object, I'd have the Alpine. If I was buying one of these tomorrow, I'd probably buy the R5. It's just as capable as I need. It's fun to drive, it's nippy, it looks awesome. I just really enjoy it.
Well, I'm Duncan Vincent.
And I'm Lucy Brown. Don't forget to subscribe to the Arnold Clark YouTube channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload from us.
And until next time,
safe driving.